So hey y'all, it is day one of the government shutdown. I'm a federal employee, so things are getting a little intense. In case you have not been keeping up, Congress could not come up with a budget to fund the government starting with this new fiscal year that we're in that began today. So we are being made to go into work and without pay. The first 5 days we'll be getting paid, and then thereafter, and we are deemed essential. So is the post office, so is the military. So I came on here to say, pray for us. I do believe in the power of prayer. I don't believe that there's anything that's too big for my God, even though this time around seems like it's going to be a lot worse than previous furloughs. But I am going to remain faithful and try not to let it stress. To all my other federal employees, hang in there. This too shall pass. And yeah, so I'll come back. I don't know how long this is going to last. This is day one, once again. I'll be back to update y'all periodically, maybe do like a mini series on how we're coping, dealing, how we're paying bills, how we're managing financially. Again, pray for us. And to all of the other federal employees, hang in there. God got you. Love you. Bye.
And since they want to shut down a government building, that means shit, we ain't got to pay rent no more. Hey, for real. And since they want to shut down a government building, that means shit, we ain't got to pay rent no more. Hey.
That's not what it mean, idiot. And they not shutting down the government building. They're shutting down the government, idiot.
Bombs.
To the office, and we have shut down. The government has shut down. And I don't even know. Y'all hear them damn chickens?
It's a rooster.
Roosters, chickens. But anyway, but the government has shut down. And I don't even know what's going on. I'm going into the office. Y'all.
Do you hear the rooster comes home to roost? Or more commonly, the chickens come home to roost. It's an idiom. You know what that means? The consequences of one bad actions, mistakes, or poor choices will eventually catch up to them and cause problems.
This has been such a roller coaster ride as a government worker. I've worked for the government for 35 years, and I love my job, and it was always like the safest place to work as far as security, you know. So for this to be happening is like, wow. Now, we've been through stuff like this before, but there was never threats of layoffs and things like that. So for that to be in the air is like, wow. It's real, real crazy. So say a prayer for us, gotta work on this. Yeah. We're shut down. I don't know if I'm supposed to work, if I'm gonna work for free. I have no idea, y'all, but I am being loyal to the cause, and I am headed to work.
That's right. Be loyal to Brad. Be loyal. Salute, 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 black men. Do you want to know why they're panicking? Do you really want to know why they are panicking? They're panicking because the job is all they have. The job is all they have, black men. The job is all they have. Oh, yes. You're going to have people say, well, AC, this is going to affect everyone. You know, this is not just going to affect Keisha. It's going to affect everyone. To what extent? To the magnitude of what? Because most of us, right, black men, if you didn't know there was a federal shutdown, right, You wouldn't have felt it. You wouldn't have felt it. Yesterday, I went to Ruth Chris. I went to no issue there. No issue there. Had some great food. Had the sizzling crab cakes. Had the lobster mac and cheese. French onion soup. I had the spicy tangy calamari. I didn't feel nothing. The check coming ain't bother me. And it won't bother you either, black men. It won't bother you either. It's going to bother them more. Of course, it's going to bother other people, because the government ties into a lot of things. But the reason why they're afraid is because you got to think. She's been working for the government for 35 years. She said 35 years, right? Listen to what I'm about to say, black men. Okay, you've been working there for 35 years. Where's your nest egg? Where's your money? 35 years, she has nothing to show for it. That's the reason why she's paranoid. There's no man in sight. They think they can work until the sun burn out. These Keishas live paycheck to paycheck. I'm not even talking about welfare. I'm not talking about Section 8. That's a whole nother level of poorness. I'm talking about government employees. I'm talking about Keishas that's employed by the government. You know how many of them are employed by the government? 264,000. We're not talking about the 300,000 that just lost their jobs. We're talking about the existing 264,000 that work for the federal government that is going insane right now. They're going insane right now because they're going to go through the same thing that happened before. They're going to have to go to work for free. They don't know how long is this going to take. And let me tell you something, black man. Let me break something down to you. The reason why I tell y'all why it shouldn't affect y'all, if you've been at this channel for the longest, I've been telling y'all, stack your chips, stack your paper. You have one job, get two jobs, especially if you're young. One job to pay all your bills, the other one is just to stack paper. Just to stack it. Keep stacking, keep saving. You know why? Because if something ever happens to you, you should have at least 9 months to a year worth of savings that can actually pay all your bills while you get everything together. You shouldn't be able to lose everything. You shouldn't be able to lose your house, your apartment, your car, just because of a few weeks or even a few months of no pay. If you got enough money saved, if you got enough money tucked away, if you lose your job, or something happens to you, you got injured, you should have enough money to tie you over until you get back on your feet, which means you don't lose anything. The only thing you losing is your savings, and your savings is there just in case something like this happen. This is what I've been saying I've been saying this since 2020. I've been saying this since 2020, late 2019. I've been telling you brothers that for the longest. I've been telling y'all to have water, canned goods, all types of stuff. Put it in the basement. I've been telling y'all this since 2019. I've been telling y'all this for a minute. Late 2019, early 2020, a little bit before COVID hit. I've been saying this. And the reason why I say it because what happens with Keisha misses one paycheck and it start getting dark for her. If she misses a week, it gets dark for her. If she misses a month, they start losing everything. They start losing everything. They started losing everything. The government shutdown goes over 2 weeks. The government shutdown goes over a month. They can't pay their rent. They can't pay their car insurance. Why can't you pay your bills if it's just them? Because they don't have any savings. They don't have any money. All they do is spend. They don't invest anything. They don't save anything. And they're not married. This affects Becky too. Of course this affects Becky. This affects Maria. But guess what? They're married. They're not by themselves. They're not by themselves. They're not. Brad is right there to pick up the slack. Brad said, okay, cool. Don't worry about it. Hector's right there. Okay, cool. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. Oh, we're going to have to cut back on some things, but you're not going to be out in the street. Keisha has no one because she's been told that the job is her husband. They forced that onto her. And now look at them, terrified. Every time the government goes through, the government has been shut down since the 60s. How many times? I think 20 times. The government shutdown is not that common, but it happened more than a few times. It happens. It happened, I think, since this. I believe since 67, probably around 20 times. But when this happens, it doesn't go on for. Sometimes it goes on for 4 days. Sometimes it goes on for 8 days. It don't go on too long. The longest was the last one. That's why it made such a significant impact on Keisha's, because how long it went. So now they're panicking because they remember what happened the last time. They remember what happened the last time. See, when they think that they can work, she's been working there for 35 years and don't have an exit plan. Black men, they don't have an exit plan. They don't. You need an exit plan. The exit plan, meaning retirement. They're not going to keep you until the sun burn out. One day you're going to get that pink slip. Thank you for everything you have done, but it's time for you to move on. We need some young blood in here. They're going to look at them and say, hey, we can pay somebody half her salary, younger than her, and they'll know just as much as she knows. The only thing you have to do is this is what corporations do. So you need to have an exit plan. This is what companies and corporations do. They move out the old. That's just the way it is. We understand that, black men. We understand that. We understand how companies and corporations move. That's why majority of us have an exit plan. We have an exit plan. All right, I got my investments. I got my savings. I got my properties. When it's time for me to move on, I'm cool. I'm good. I'm fine. Even brothers that work, that have trades understand they need an exit plan. They understand that their body can't do what they were able to do when they were in their 30s and 40s. If you're a plumber, carpenter, electrician, you in construction, you understand that your body, as it gets older, it's going to be hard to do a lot of things that you were able to do when you were younger. Maybe you work for yourself. Maybe you own a company that does the trade or whatever it is that you. But at some point, you understand that your body is not going to be able to take on all that stress, and you want to enjoy the rest of your life living. If you're in your 60s, 70s, you want to exit in your 50s so you can enjoy your 60s and 70s. No, Keisha thinks she can work till the sun burns out. She's 50 something years old, still worried about a paycheck. 50 something years old, worrying about the next paycheck. That's poor, man. That's poor. That is so poor. 50-something years old worrying about the next paycheck? No. No. When you're in your 50s, black men, when you're in your late 30s and 40s, you should be on another level of understanding and being comfortable to the point where money it's not such a big deal because you made so many wise decisions that you're able to live comfortable. You can blow some bread on investments. If it don't work out, it doesn't hurt your pockets. You can go out anytime you feel like it. You can travel anytime you feel like it because you made wise, smart decisions. See, you didn't put your job. If you have a job, you didn't put your job in front of you. If you in a union, you didn't put the union in front of you. You ain't put anything that you're doing in front of you. You understand that you needed to come first. So if another opportunity came for you to go and make some more money, and you see this a lot with black men. Black men could literally be an electrician and decide, you know what? I want to drive trucks now. I made a decent living being an electrician, but now I want to go and drive truck because I just realized you can make more money there. All right, see y'all later. Go over there driving trucks, making 3 or 4 more times than you were making as a electrician. 3 to 4 times more the paychecks, 3 to 4 times more the income. And you did this because you didn't put those jobs, you didn't put those corporations, you didn't put them in front of you. You put yourself in front of those corporations and said, I'm going to make the best decision for myself. I'm not going to stay here knowing I can go somewhere else and make more money. And I'm doing this because I'm trying to set myself up for later. These Keishas work in these government corporations, these government jobs, don't get paid a lot, and student loan debt. And they so content with crumbs. Brad and Becky got them so content with crumbs to the point where they're willing to work for 35 years, 30, 40 plus years, with nothing to show for it. This Keisha says she's been working there for 35 years. Why are you panicking then? You should be straight. Oh, you've been working for 35 years in the same position? Oh, there was no going up the ladder, right? There was none of that. There was no promotion, right? No. You've been doing the same thing for 35 years. And you got nowhere in life. This is the other side of the government handout. Besides, Section 8, besides, EBT, besides all that, this is the other side of the government handout. The ones who would say that they don't need Section 8 or EBT or anything else because they have federal jobs. They're just as poor as the ones that are on Section 8. They just as poor as them. They just as poor as them. They just as poor as them. They'll tell you they make $60,000, $70,000 with these federal government jobs, right? If that. Now, it's usually around 35 to 40K. But let's just say they get up there to 50, 60,000. Let's just say they get up there to 50. What they're not telling you is how much debt they're in. What they're not telling you how much debt they're in. They're not telling you the credit card debt, the student loan debt. They're not telling you that. So with the credit card debt, the student loan debt, and their spending habits, how much are they really worth? How much are they really worth? 15 grand? 20 grand? I'm talking about as far as the job. How much is the job really, how much money are they really able to spend? How much money are they really able to afford after all their spending habits and debt? They're poor, man. They're poor. They're worth $5. You know where that come from? That come from after liabilities, after everything is subtracted when it comes to debt. Debt and bills. After all their bills are paid, after all their bills is paid when it comes to light gas, groceries, insurance, phone bill, mortgage, rent, whatever it is, after everything is car insurance, after everything is paid off, how much do they have left? How much do they have left? They live paycheck to paycheck, black man. Paycheck to paycheck. It's the worst type of living, man. It's the worst type of living. Living paycheck to paycheck, it's the worst. It's not so bad when you're young, when you're in your 20s, early 20s. It's not so bad. You're young. But to be living like that in your 30s and 40s, it's pitiful. And that's the reason why they're panicking.
Vamos.